gospel readings reminds me of a story that I'd like to share with you today. It's a story of understanding how God's love is greater than ours, and how in loving God, we're able to share His love to others. So I don't know if you're like me, but sometimes we're not everybody's cup of tea. And there are people who may not like you as much as others do. I met a lady who just didn't like me for some reason. And no matter how kind or generous I was to her, there was something about me that bothered her. And there was no way for me to reconcile where that came from or to reconcile that relationship. And I had an opportunity to serve her one weekend. And during this weekend, the Holy Spirit kept guiding me to love on her. And through this process, I was rejected over and over again. I saw confusion on her face. She didn't understand why I was being kind to her. And I was honestly so confused why God kept asking me to shower her with love. It was not the person that I would want to do this with because of the relationship that we had. And I had hardened my heart to her. Over the weekend though, I kept feeling God leading me to shower her with more and more compassion, serving her every day. And after the weekend was over, I saw no change. But I offered all my service to the Lord. In today's gospel, we hear that Jesus is asked, "Teacher, which commandment in the law is the greatest?" And Jesus said to them, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the greatest and first commandment. The second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. The whole law and the prophets depend on these two commandments." When we do this and we follow these commandments, we are not relying on ourselves, but on God. Putting God first. God knows the needs of others. And when we put Him first, we are called to be obedient to His promptings. And through God, we are able to share His love with others. Brothers and sisters, I don't know if you're like me, but for me, I don't understand the personal lives of everybody who's around me. But God does. God knows what they're dealing with, their troubles, their sorrows, their joys. We just don't have that level of understanding. But when we rely on God, He will guide us to glorify Him through our word, our actions, and love for others. And I'd like to share the ending of this story with you. Because I was able to listen to God, to put God first, and to love my neighbor as myself, at the end of this weekend, this lady came to me in tears. She had been rejected by the church over and over and over, and expressed to me that there was something about my faith that she just couldn't grasp. She came and apologized to me of how cold she was, but that through my service and showering her with love, she felt this warmth that she hadn't felt in a long time. And she was finally ready to come back to the church. So when we use our love for God, for ourselves, to shower onto others in obedience in accordance to His will, we are spreading the beautiful love that He has for all of us in the building of the kingdom. God bless.